Hi, my name is Salomon Loreto. I'm a student from Harmony School of Discovery, and basically what I'm gonna do right now is explain to you all how does my PBL works. Before I start, I wanted to tell you all the reason of why I chose this PBL. The PBL I chose this year is how to make an HIV model, and I chose that PBL because it actually sounds really interesting, like you're learning how does the HIV works and stuff, and I really liked it. So basically, I wanted to tell you all that. So, yeah. AIDS was first clinically observed in 1981 in the United States. The initial cases were a cluster of injection drug users and gay men with no known cause of impaired immunity who showed symptoms of pneumocystis carinii pneumonia, known as PCP, a rare opportunistic infection that was known to occur in people with very compromised immune system. Soon thereafter, additional gay men developed a previously rare skin cancer called Kaposi sarcoma, known as KS. Many more cases of PCP and KS emerged, alerting U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, known as CDC, and a CDC task force was formed to monitor the outbreak. In the beginning, the CDC did not have an official name for the disease, often referring to it by way of the diseases that were associated with it. For example, lymphadenopathy, the disease after which the discoverers of HIV originally named the virus. They also used Kaposi's sarcoma, an opportunistic infection, the name by which a task force had been set up in 1981. In the general press, the term GRID, which stood for Gay-Related Immune Deficiency, had been coined. The CDC, in search of a name and looking at the infected communities, coined the 4H disease as it seemed to single out homosexual, heroin user, hemophiliacs, and Haitians. However, after determining that AIDS was not isolated to the gay community, it was realized that the term GRID was misleading and AIDS was introduced at a meeting in July 1982. By September 1982, the CDC started using the name AIDS. Robert Gallo, co-discoverer of HIV in 1983, two separate research groups led by Robert Gallo and Luc Montagnier independently declared that a novel retrovirus may have been infected AIDS patients and published their findings in the same issue of the journal Science. Gallo claimed that a virus his group had isolated from an AIDS patient was strikingly similar in shape to other human T lymphotropic viruses. His group had been the first to isolate. Gallo's group called their newly isolated virus HTLV 3. At the same time, Montagnier's group isolated a virus from a patient presenting with swelling of the lymph nodes of the neck and physical weakness. Two classic symptoms of AIDS contradicting the report from Gallo's group. Montagnier's and his colleagues showed that core proteins of this virus were immunologically different from those of HTLV1. Montagnier's group named their isolated virus lymphadenopathy associated virus, known as LAV. As these two viruses turned out to be the same in 1986, LAV and HTLV3 were renamed HIV. So this is basically my PBL. These stuff you see in here are called the glycoproteins. What glycoproteins contain is the oligosaccharide chains. Oligosaccharide chains are ubicated on the polypeptide side chain. So that's basically what the glycoprotein contains. Now, in here, This blue stuff you see in here, that they are called enzymes. And what enzyme does is that they accelerate or catalyze the chemical reaction. Yeah, that's the function of the enzymes. These strings you see in here, they are called RNA. And RNA is basically the genetic code for this cell, for the HIV cell. This orange stuff you see in here, it's called the capsid. And capsid is the protein shell of the virus. What the capsid contains, as you see in here, is the genetic code, in this case the RNA, and the enzymes, as you see in here. So that's what the capsid contains. This is the envelope. The envelope is the outside of the cell. We can say like the wall of the cell is what is like the outside of the cell. All right. So if in my PBL you put the capsid out, you can see the inside of the cell, and in the inside of the cell you can see this four stuff. They're in there. You can see them, and they are called protease. And what protease does is that the protease is any enzyme that performs proteolysis. That is begins a protein catabolism by hydrolysis of the peptide bonds that link amino acids together in the polypeptide protease. On the polypeptide chain. Sorry. So then we put my capsid in again, and yeah, so this is my PBL. So thank you for watching this video.